This wisdom have I seen also under the sun, and it seemed great unto me. There was a little city, and few men within it. And there came a great king against it, and besieged it, and built great bulwarks against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. The words of wise men are heard in quiet, more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good.
Hey, Shalom. All praises, glory, honor, and the fears to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Mekakodash. That belongs to Elden Apostle GMS, and citates to election, the real house of David. And this wisdom, which is from above, is what's going to keep us stable in these times. And just like in those verses, Ecclesiastes 9th chapter, alright, there was a little city and few men in it. And there was a man within that city, and that city is the elect in these last times. Alright, the New Jerusalem, right? The kingdom of heaven is within us, and that man that's found within the city is Yahweh Shai, the spirit of prophecy, the Lord of lords, the King of kings, the King of terrors, the Savior, Yahweh Shai. And he's in the midst of us where 2 or 3 is gathered. And the Lord is about to be a swift witness unto all of our enemies, all the adversaries, all the sorcerers, and the words of a wise man are not heard, and that's why they're heard more in quiet. See, it's always the quiet ones you have to look out for, you know. And just as Yahweh Shai, you know, it said on Ecclesiastes 9, the parable, and no man remembered that wise man that delivered the city. But see, the few men that's left, and the ones that's still blessed and blessing others with his truth, as it is written in Isaiah 24, you know, the curse has devoured the whole earth, and there's few men left. So there's few men left really in this truth that's really striving for the truth unto death, and really fighting for the Lord and not fighting against the Lord, like a lot of you rebels out there. And that's why 2/3 of our people, they're gonna be cut off and die. And I was watching a video, matter of fact, I might just play a little part if I can get it. But I was watching the elder. He was doing a video going into I keep on forgetting their camp name, but the ones that said the mark of the beast ain't the chip, basically they're now saying that they're gonna watch over the neighborhood, and if they see a cop messing around with a black person or a Native American or a Latino, that they're gonna not come with their phone, but they're gonna come with their guns, which they're gonna be destroyed, because that's the wrong way. That's the way that leads to death. That's the way that leads to death, man. Matter of fact, let me get this precept in Proverbs. You know, it's because our people, they have no faith. They are children of whom no faith is. And nothing too is, the angels are watching over the elect, and 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed. And that's what another false doctrine. Oh, you gotta love the 2/3. The Lord said he loveth none but those that dwell with wisdom. Proverbs 16:29. A violent man enticeth his neighbor, and leadeth him into the way that is not good. You see? He shutteth his eyes to divide 4 things. Moving his lips, he bringeth evil to pass. Right? They're blind men. They're in the dark. So this is Micah 5 in verse 9. Thine hand shall be lifted up upon thine adversaries, and all thine enemies shall be cut off. And you have enemies of the cross of Yahushua's sacrifice. And that's why the Lord said in Romans 12, it is our reasonable sacrifice, it's our reasonable service to offer our bodies a living sacrifice. The Lord did it. He was a man without sin. How much more you? And your righteousness is as filthy rags. And this is why people, they come short at. Micah 5:12, and I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers. Let's get that word for soothsayers. Alright, the Hebrew word is ainan. Alright, to practice soothsaying or spiritism or magic or augury or witchcraft. A menonym. Let's get the word for menonym. Hey, you learn something every day. Alright, it says, observer of times, soothsayer. Alright, it says, or spiritism. Right, which is another term for spiritualism, which, the scripture say, if any man thinketh himself to be spiritual, let me get that scripture. Alright, 1 Corinthians 14:37. If any man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, you see, let him acknowledge that the things that I write unto you are the commandments of the Lord. But if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. And so that coincides with Revelation 22. Those that are filthy, let them be filthy still. And the Lord's going to hit them out of their place. Those filthy stones, as it's preluding to Sirach. It says, or augury. Let's get that word for augury. Right, a sign of what will happen in the future. See, so as scripture in Isaiah 8, all the children of our people, even the false prophets and the reprobates, they're also signs of what not to be, of which way not to go in. As we read earlier in Proverbs, a violent man enticeth his neighbor and leadeth him to a way that is not good. Isaiah 8 and verse 18, behold, I and the children whom the Lord hath given me are for signs and for wonders in Israel from the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth in Mount Zion, which is that city that the Lord's going to deliver. Verse 14, and he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling and for a rock of offense to both the house of Israel, for a gin and for the snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken. So that's what Yahushua is also to others, man. That are not right. That are not speaking as the oracles. Let me get that as well. First Peter 4 and 11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of power. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which God giveth, that God in all things may be glorified through Yahushua Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. And now let's get that word for oracles.
Strong's G 3051. Logion.
Meaning a brief utterance, a divine oracle. Doubtless because oracles are generally brief, right, straight to the point. In the New Testament, the words of utterances of God, right, of the contents of the Mosaic Law. So it's the word of the Lord, Old Testament and the New. The utterance, which utterance, let's get that for utterance real quick. Right, a spoken word, a statement, a vocal sound. So a lot of guys, what they're doing, they're blowing the trumpet in a wrong way, in an uncertain, unknowing way. half-ass kind of way, and it's very deceitful, man. That's why a lot of our people, they don't know what time we're in. And they don't know who the enemy is. They don't know if the mark of the beast is this, is that, is this, is that. It's all this stuff that he's trying to put into you. Oh, well, if you don't have a mask, you can't come and buy and sell. And see, right now it's on you, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to put it into you, man. They're trying to put all their devices into you, the technology, the transhumanism into you. And first starting with the vaccination, then they're gonna roll out that RFID chip, man. Here, take that. Right. And it comes from G3052, which is a man of letters, skilled in literature and the arts, especially in history and the antiquities, skilled in speech, eloquent, rational, wise, you see? Matter of fact, let's get that in Sirach as well. Or is it Wisdom of Solomon? This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, in verse 21. 20 says, therefore the righteous spoil the ungodly. And how we spoil the ungodly? Through the word, the foolish are preaching. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, no gun, nothing. It's all spiritual, which I'm about to get into. And praise thy holy name, O Lord, and magnified with one accord thine hand that fought for them. See, it's the Lord that goes before us to fight against our enemies that's stronger than us, because he's the one to be praised and glorified. For wisdom opened the mouth of the dumb and made the tongues of them that cannot speak eloquent. You see, are the oracles of the Most High, man. Let me also get this as well. This gotta come out. Romans 3:1. What advantage then hath the Jew, or what profit is there of circumcision? Because you cut off that flesh, you cut off that old man, and now you live in the spirit. You walk in the spirit. Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of God. And also this one too in Hebrews 5:12. Whew, you know what? Let me start verse 8. It says, though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by things which he suffered. And that's what we're supposed to arm ourselves likewise, man. 1 Peter 4:1. With the same mind, the same thought process, man. Overcoming all the evil with good. How did Neo overcome the Matrix and all them Agent Smiths? There was many of them, right? He allowed the darkness to overcome him, but guess what? Once that darkness took him, he broke it with the light, man. And then he came into Agent Smith with the light. That's what you gotta do, man. Verse 9. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him. Called of power and high priest after order of Melchizedek, of whom we have many things to say and hard to be uttered, seeing ye are dull of hearing. Right? Because what did we read earlier in Ecclesiastes 9? The words of a wise man are not heard. His voice is not heard. Oh, I'm not gonna listen to him. He ain't got no subscribers. You see, our people are carnal as hell, man. It's okay though. It says, for the time ye are to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. But strong meat belong to them that are full age, even those who by reason of use, right, they're using their talent, they're not being slothful, have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil, right, both wrong and right. You see? And when you go to I believe it's a rock. The Lord said He would make us have a quick understanding just as He was. You go to Wisdom of Solomon 4 and verse 8. It says, for honorable age is not that which standeth in length of time. So you can't look at the carnal. Oh, how old are you? You know, it's not about how old you are. It's about how long you've been in the Word, you know, in the Spirit, and doing the labor of love. It says, nor that is measured by number of years. You know, see how that quote in the world, oh, age is just a number. Yeah, it's true. It is just a number. Because you can have someone that's 60 years old and he ain't got the wisdom of the Lord, this truth. And you could have someone that's 20-year-old and he got the truth. But that 20-year-old, he's more eloquent and wiser and more knowledgeable than that 60-year-old that don't got the truth, that don't know who he is. Still calling himself a black man, still going out there and voting. You know, thinking everyone's created equal. You see what I'm saying? But wisdom is a gray hair unto men, and an unspotted life is old age. He pleased God and was beloved of Him, so that living among sinners, He was translated. And another thing too is one sinner destroyeth much good. So that's why whenever we see someone come up and say certain things that's not right, we rebuke it sharply, man. That the rest of the believers, rest of the sheep may be sound in the faith. This is Proverbs 24 and verse 3. It says, through wisdom is an house builded, and by understanding it is established. And the Lord said, by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let everything be established. And the thing about this truth, like the Lord is a foundation, He's a chief cornerstone. And it talks about the ground and the pillar of the truth. And the Lord said He's going to make us pillars in the kingdom, and we shall never go out or in ever again. The thing is about the foundation is it's on the bottom. And that's why the Lord has us on the bottom. You see? We're hated, we're despised, our words aren't heard, because we really have the wisdom, brothers. And another thing too about the foundation is that, you know, like the attic, the rock, like if you might have built your house on a rock. That's how they used to do it. But anyways, you don't really show that off. When someone comes into your house through the front door, back door, whatever, you don't, oh, come to my foundation. Let me show you my foundation. Let me show you my attic. Let me show you down here in the basement. They'll be like, look at you, like, what the hell? You see, you know, they're going to show you the windows and the door and the living room and the TV, you know. That don't really make the house, you know. The foundation does. So when the winds, the storms come, that house ain't going to be moved. It's not going to fall over. You know, like that story about the wolf and the 3 pigs, you know. One built it with straw, the other one with what did he build it with? Something that's not good. But that wolf came and blew on it and he ate them pigs. But the last pig, he built his house with bricks, man. You know. Proverbs 24 and verse 4. And by knowledge shall thy chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man is strong. Yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength. And what we're doing, he that devises to do evil shall be called a mischievous person. The thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men. And this is what is getting us strong, not anything carnal or stocking up on food and increasing in riches. When the Lord said, when you increase in riches, set not your heart upon them, man. For riches certainly grow themselves wings, and they fly away to heaven. They go away. You know, but the riches of the Lord abide forever, which is His truth, His word. Proverbs 20 and verse 17. Check this out. It says, bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. See, nothing that's good for him. Go and try to eat gravel, man. Your teeth are going to break. You're going to be bloody. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get sick. You have to go to the hospital, man. It says, every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice make war. And our war is spiritual and mighty. And we're pulling down strongholds. See, what we're doing here cannot be done if you try to get carnal. That's Esau's arena, man. That's his game, man. And he's going to win every single time, man. 2nd Ezra 1:25, seeing ye have forsaken me, I will forsake you also. When ye desire me to be gracious unto you, I shall have no mercy upon you. Whensoever you shall call upon me, I will not hear you. For ye have defiled your hands with blood, and your feet are swift to commit manslaughter. Ye have not, as it were, forsaken me, but your own self, says the Lord. Because what is our name? Our name is Israel, Yasharal. He is a prince of power. But if you deny the power, if you don't listen to the power and take heed of the power, as it should be, then guess what? You really forsaken yourself, man, because you're Israelites, man. You're so-called Negroes, American Latinos, and the Israelite foreigners, the Gentiles, right? And let's get that word from manslaughter real quick. It's basically murder, man, killing. Right, crime of killing a human being without malice afterthought. Straight murder, man. Proverbs 21:22, a wise man scaleth the city of the mighty, and casteth down the strength of the confidence thereof. Right, because when you go to Psalms, was it Psalms 18 and 40? I'm not going to say it's one of my favorite scriptures because I'll just be here all day. Psalms 18 and verse 40, thou hast also given me. So the Lord's going to give us, man, our enemies, man. But all you have to do is keep patience, man. Hold your post. Keep it spiritual. Stay in the word. It says, the necks of mine enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. And we're very hated, man, even by our own people. See, just like the Maccabees, what were they doing? They were going about Israel, destroying all the ungodly out of Israel, man, and turn the wrath away from Israel. So that's what we're doing in spirit too. All you ungodly out there, man, amongst this truth. It says, they cried, but there was none to save them, even until the Lord. But he answered them not. You see that? Then did I beat them small as the dust before the wind. I did cast them out as a dirt in the streets. Whew. You see that, man? That's what's coming. Proverbs 21 and 22. A wise man scaled the city of the mighty. Right? This is a mighty city. Our spirit just started snowing. And we're measuring the time diligently. Know what time and season you're in. There's a time and season for everything. And cast down the strength of the confidence thereof. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles. So it's all about processing what you're going to say before you say it, not just saying, just babbling and vain jangling and not having a vent over your mouth. And that's what we have a lot of our people doing. Let me get that precept I brought out the last video, but let's bring it out again. Turning aside after Satan, man. 1 Timothy 1 and 5. Now the end of the commandment is charity out of a pure heart, and of a good conscience, and a faith unfeigned, from which some having swerved, having turned aside unto vain jangling, desiring to be teachers of the law, understanding neither what they say, nor whereof they affirm. Let's get that word for jangling real quick. Right, make or cause to make a ringing metallic sound, typically a discordant one. Let's get the word for discordant. Right, jangle means to talk excessively or noisily, squabble. Let's get the word for discordant. Right, inharmonious. Right, they don't have that peculiar frequency, the way they're sounding this alarm, and the way they're singing this new. That's why only the virgins can sound the new song. A virgin, she's to be kept hidden, man. Either she's going to be in the authority of her father or the authority of her husband. She's not going to be out in the streets everywhere squabbling and vain jangling. All right, discordant means disagreeing. Right, whenever something of the truth comes out or sound doctrine, they're always disagreeing. Nah, hear me out. It says of sounds harsh and jarring because of lack of harmony. That's right. So let's jump back. First, I said right there. Let's jump back. Proverbs 10 and verse 27. It says, the fear of the Lord prolongeth days, But the years of the wicked shall be shortened. The hope of the righteous shall be gladness, but the expectation of the wicked shall perish. The way of the Lord is strength to the upright, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. And then even a lot of guys that have the name of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, the Lord's going to tell you, depart from ye that work iniquity. I never knew you. The Lord doesn't know you, man. The righteous shall never be removed, but the wicked shall not inhabit the earth. And when you go to Jeremiah 11, the Lord lets his prophets know the secrets and the wickedness and abominations of our people, man. All right, Jeremiah 16 and verse 20, verse 21. Shall a man make gods unto himself, and they are no gods? Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know. I will cause them to know mine hand and my might. And they shall know that my name is Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, and his name is known amongst his servants. And this has been coming out a lot lately because it's just a spirit. Jeremiah 11 in verse 18. And the title of this is Plots Against Jeremiah, right? We know that the wicked plot against the righteous, you know? They want to destroy us and take our place. But see, they're not the foundation, man. There's those glitterly pictures on the wall, man. You know? It says, and the Lord hath given me knowledge of it, and I know it, then thou showest me their doings. You see that? Verse 19, but I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter, and I knew not that they had devised devices against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof. You see, so if you're the tree, like the brother did a beautiful video on going into the roots of the trees, you know, and how a lot of guys, they have that bitter root of envy, so, you know, their fruit is spoiled, it's rotten, it's fallen, you know, and they're withering away. But see, you brothers that have the fruits, meet for repentance, our people gonna want to destroy you, man. See, one sinner destroyeth much good. It says, and let us cut him off from the land of the living, that his name may be no more remembered. But see, the Lord's gonna judge righteously, and we're gonna see the Lord's vengeance on you. When you dig a pit for a righteous man, guess what? Your wicked ass gonna fall into it, man. And with the Lord, there's no respect to person. You don't care if you in this camp, you in that camp, you know this guy. See, Colossians 1 and verse 6. I'm sorry, verse 5. It says, for the hope which is laid up for you in heaven, whereof ye heard before in the word of the truth of the gospel, which is come unto you, as it is in all the world, and bringeth forth fruit, as it doth also in you, since the day ye heard of it, and knew the grace of God in truth. As they also learned of Epaphras, our dear fellow servant, who is for you a faithful minister of Yahushai, who also declared unto us your love in the Spirit. For this cause we also, since the day we heard it, do not cease to pray for you, and desire that ye might be filled with the knowledge of his will in all wisdom and spiritual understanding, that ye might walk worthy of the Lord until all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work, and increasing in the knowledge of God, strengthening with all might according to his glorious power, unto all patience and long suffering with joyfulness. And the Lord said, woe unto that lost patience, man, for what ended will it be for you. You see, giving thanks unto the Father which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, who hath delivered us from the power of darkness and hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son. And it's heavy too, because in that movie I was checking out last night, Hansel and Gretel, towards the end of the last scene, the young boy, the brother, he was basically in a trance. He was basically under a spell, you know. He was like asleep, and he was about to like commit suicide. He's about to go up to the top of this little cage and just get burnt, you know. Like the scripture saying in the law, you know, you shall not pass your children through the fire, you know, child sacrifice. But then he woke up. His sister helped him out, whatever, you know. But he woke up, and then You know, he went on to live his life, but he was very young, you know, and he wanted to be a woodcutter. You know, he had that axe. That's spiritual, you know. That's spiritual, you know. Isaiah 2 and verse 5. O house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of the Lord. Not just talk. A lot of guys talk too much. You gotta walk. You gotta do more walking, man. You gotta let your actions speak louder than your words. Therefore thou hast forsaken thy people, the house of Jacob, because they be replenished from the east, and are soothsayers like the Philistines. And they please themselves in the children of strangers. Verse 8-9, it says, their land also is full of idols. They worship the work of their own hands. Right, I did this, look what I made. That which their own fingers have made. And the mean man boweth down, and the great man humbleth himself. Therefore forgive them not. See, and Yahushua is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And he is the same angel in Exodus where the Lord said his name is in him. You know, he will not pardon your iniquities, you know. Take heed that thou don't disobey him. And that's why when you come to this truth, you can't turn back into iniquity, man. The Lord's going to destroy you. Proverbs 8 and 11, for wisdom is better than rubies, and the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. You know, so you can't compare this truth with what someone gets when they sell a sort of saying or Lamborghinis. You can't compare it, man. This is gonna, and you're about to see the end. You're about to see the reward of it all, man. And once you see the strangeness of our salvation and all the things happening to the Lord's chosen, then you'll be like, damn, man, I should never fuck with Esau and Satan like that, man. But see, you don't see it right now, man, because we're in the process of being molded and purged right now. You know, so you have to clean up the dirt, you have to clean up all the mud, you know, put it through the fire, and then you're gonna see the ending, the product of it all, man. Okay. And I'm close out here. Zechariah 13. And 1, in that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirit to pass out of the land. And it shall come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begat him shall say unto him, thou shalt not live, thou speakest lies in the name of Yahweh. And his father and his mother that begat him shall thrust him through when he prophesieth. So it's all spiritual. So the sword, let me get that, the sword of the spirit. Let's go to Ephesians 6, because what's slaying them is the sword of the spirit. Yahushai, Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai, he makes alive and he kills. He takes the spirit away and he gives. Ephesians 6 and verse 17, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the spirit, which is the word of God. And that's why we yield it every day, man, because we have a whole lot of demons trying to take our crown and take that helmet of salvation off of us, man, trying to take our salvation. I mean, real quick, that word spirit in the Greek, I'm get this.
Strong's G 4151, pneuma.
Right, a life-giving spirit. Right, a spirit higher than man, but lower than God. An example, an angel. The breath of life, man, which life and death can't coexist. You know, truth and lies can't coexist, you know. That's why the Lord said in John 11, and if you believe on me, you shall never die. Believest thou this? It's all about believing, man. Yeah, we'll close out there. Could give all praises, glory, honor, fear, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakwadash.